medical assisting, also monitor surveillance, which are telemetry technicians and patient care technicians. And so I am happily the supervisor of Ms. Omarobe, who has been the faculty member for your family members and students who know her for the last year, 10, 12 months, however long it's been, since August. And so it's a pleasure to be here with you today and celebrate you, the graduates, and also you, the family, who have supported them through. So I just wanted to give a few words and talk to the students a little bit as we celebrate you, and then I'll turn it over to Professor O. And so today we are here and we're going to celebrate your hard work and perseverance and accomplishments over the since August. Okay, I'm counting 32 weeks.
9 months.
9 months, 32 weeks of schoolwork. Everybody came in here with a different purpose. Purpose to grow. I sat in interviews yesterday and kind of listened to everybody and looked at your resumes and talked to some of you about, what is your future going to look like. And now you're ready to step into this next part of your rewarding field. And the program wasn't easy, right? It's not meant to be. You have people's lives in your hands. You make a difference in their life every single day. And you've shown dedication, not just to your own success, but to the principles of care and compassion that will guide you through your role as an MA or wherever your journey takes you after that. But it's not over. It's not over. Your journey is not over. And you have another quiz. Let's start right now. Are you guys ready? Okay. Here we go. Name the 5 wealthiest people in the world. No?
Elon Musk?
I don't know. Probably, yes, he's definitely one. He's definitely one. Bezos, probably. I don't know. Name the last 5 Oscar winners for Best Actor. Okay. Name 10 people who have won the Nobel Prize.
Martin Luther King. Barack Obama.
Einstein. Okay. That was a little easier, but we're still struggling. Name 5 Olympic medalists. This one should be a little easier. Okay. All right, we're getting there. All right. Okay. All right. How'd you do? It was tough, right? It's tough. The point? We don't always remember the headliners, right? We don't always remember those people. They're not slackers. None of those people are slackers. They are top in their field. Can we name them? Not all of them, right? Can we remember them? Not off the top of our heads, but if we said, hey, Marie Curie, you can be like, oh yeah, she was a Nobel Peace Prize winner, right? We know who she is, but off the top of our heads, could we name her? No. Accolades die and applause fail, and achievements are gone and they're easily forgotten. So let's try another quiz. You may only name Professor O one time, so I cannot hear her name every single question, okay? I have to say that because every time. List a few people who have aided you on your educational journey. And you don't have to name them out loud, you can if you want to, but you can just think about it in your head. And that could be anybody, not just the students. Name 5 people who taught you something worthwhile. Can you do that? Name somebody who made you feel appreciated and special. Think about a half dozen heroes who inspire you. Easier? The lesson is people who make a difference are not the ones with the money. They're not the ones with the fame. They're not the ones with the credentials. They're not the ones with the awards. They are the ones who care. And you guys are now in the profession of caring for people who come into your worlds. And we heard yesterday a lot about sometimes that's difficult, right? Sometimes those patients are challenging, but it's our job to care. It's not their best day, right? They don't want to be there. Oh, I'm so excited to go see my doctor today, right? That's not, people don't want to be there, right? Right? And so, but we have to care about them. And so I always like to share this story. I don't get to share it this afternoon because the person whose story it is will be sharing it with my PCT grads. But one of my fellow colleagues was really sick, and I think she was in this building, and she had to come in for a chest x-ray, and I was sitting in a chair waiting for my x-ray, and people were walking past, and I was just sitting there, and I was sitting, and somebody walked by, and they walked past me, and they stopped, and they came back, and they said, "You look really cold, can I get you a warm blanket?" And she's like, "That would be amazing, thank you so much." That patient had nothing to do with my care. I don't know her name. If she walked past me today, I would not remember her. But what I do remember is the impact that made and how that made me feel at that moment in time. And so Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel in a situation. And so that's our job. I actually saw that this weekend in a window, that same quote. It's the much longer version of it, as in a store window on a tapestry, and I was like, I took a picture of it. It's my graduation quote. And that quote has deep meaning in the work you do in healthcare, right? Your patients don't always remember you. The procedures you perform, the words that you say. Now, you guys are in a position where your patients may remember you, right? If you're in internal medicine, you're going to see some of those patients over and over and over again, and you're going to have some relationships with them. And they're going to remember how you made them feel when they come back. You're with them in their most vulnerable moments, when they get bad news, right? Sometimes when they get good news. And the power you hold is how you make them feel in those situations and what you can do to support that. The certificate represents not only your ability to take care of your patients, but to care about them. And it's a testament to your commitment to excellence and your readiness to make a difference in the world. So as you receive your certificate today, I want you to remember that it's more than just a piece of paper. It's about the long hours you put in, it's about the skills you've mastered, and it's about the readiness to make a difference in the lives of the patients and the families that you're taking care of. It's a testament to your ability to adapt and overcome challenges and rise to meet them. And this may feel like the end of the journey for some of you, but it's the end of the journey of the classroom. And it's the beginning of your journey as healthcare professionals, or the continuation of your journey as a healthcare professionals, because some of you already have been working in that field. And you will touch lives in ways that you just can't even imagine. Sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. Tiptoe if you must, but take the step, right? We can't get anywhere if we don't take our first step. So on behalf of myself and the entire team, I know Dr. Bates would love to be here, but she could not. And Professor O, she will do her own. I would like to congratulate you. Thank you so much for being part of our college and our medical assistant program. You are ready to change lives, and I hope your own lives will be enriched as well. And I can't wait to see where the future takes you, and potentially to have you as preceptors in the future for our future programs. So, thank you. Congratulations. Is it crooked?
No, it's just not even. Sorry, is that better? Is that I'm sorry. It was just driving me nuts. I'm sorry.
For OCD.
All right, so I've already introduced myself earlier. My name is Professor Ona Omorobe, and I am the program coordinator and assistant professor for this program, which means I teach all the classes. And so I have had the honor of being with your children, your spouses, your friends, whomever you all have here with you today that's representing you for the last 9 months. And I feel as if I have seen them grow from little tiny fetuses in the healthcare world into grown, robust, 10-pound, screaming, crying babies, right? But babies that are well equipped now to take vitals and get injections and do all the things, right? So I do have something I'm going to read briefly, but I just didn't want to share some of my personal experiences with them as well. So it's my honor to stand before you today as your program coordinator and your assistant professor. Over the past 9 months, I've watched each of you grow into confident, capable, and compassionate medical assistants, ready to step into this world of healthcare and make a difference. You've balanced very early mornings sometimes Exams, clinicals, and life, and sometimes all at the same time, right? We don't get to pick and choose. All while showing up with determination and heart. What you've accomplished in less than a year is nothing short of remarkable. You have chosen a path of service, and with it comes a great responsibility, but also great impact. Please always remember that, okay? Always remember that you are more than your job title. You are the first face that your patients will see, the steady hand during uncertainty, and the voice of encouragement when it is needed the most. I am so very proud of all of you all, and I want to say personally, congratulations. Let me just say that when you all first showed up in August, whatever the date was, and I opened up the syllabus and I started going through it, and I said, this is what's going on in week 1, and week 2, and week 3, and week 4. And if I don't know if your students have shared with you all, but the fall semester, the first semester, was rough.
Yes.
It is a beast. And I always tell them, I said, if you can get through the first 8 weeks, you graduated. And so that first 8 weeks, when I showed them the syllabus, they were like, I think I came to the wrong place. Like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I had a student who was like, yes, let's go. Everyone, I could see the anguish in your faces, like, I don't know if I can do this. And I told you, I said, when you go to school, life happens. The second you enroll in school, the sky will fall, the refrigerator will break, your car will break down, you'll get into an accident. God forbid something will happen, because that's just how life is, right? Whenever you're making improvement, it's got to put some obstacles in the way. Nothing worth having comes easy, right? You got to work hard for it. And I appreciate that you all said, all right, I'm going to rise to this challenge and I'm going to do it. And you did it, okay? And so after we got through that first 8 weeks, some of you all still had edges, and you were like, oh, you know what? That was stressful, but I think we can handle it. We got through that second 8 weeks, and you were like, oh my God, I really like this. I get to be with the patients, and I get to touch all the things. You know, after you got through the insurance part and all the administrative pieces, and yeah, that's challenging, right? But when you finally got to your patients, it was like, aha, this is what I'm here for. This is what all that stuff, that hard coursework in the first 8 weeks was for, to get to the patients, to get to the impact, to get to the empathy. And there are things that I've seen in people who I don't think you all may be aware of it in yourselves, but for an example, I mentioned about Jay yesterday, how empathetic Jay is, just how much he cares about his peers, and how he would encourage them. And if someone's having a hard day, it's okay, you can do it. Remember that time you did this? And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I don't think I've seen anyone be this empathetic, even to their own peers. And so that will always stick with me, because I think that when we're in those moments of stress, or we're all in it together, that's when our true selves really comes out. And we see that we're not in this alone. We have a team. We've got all of my peers here with us. And for example, Mackenzie, who, whenever there's something that, a challenge that needs to be done, Mackenzie's like, yep, I'll do it, I got it, you need help with this, you need help with that, and she's going to be an amazing leader someday, as well as all of you all will be amazing leaders. But this is just a little tidbits of things that you may not see in yourself. No one may have even told you, hey, Mackenzie, be a great leader, Bree, be a great leader, Bree would be a great educator. No one may have mentioned these things to you, but as your professor, I've seen you for the last 9 months, a lot. And so it's my duty and my role to bring these things out of you, and not just make you a medical assistant, but to make you a professional, and then to make you a better person, okay? So please take that with you from now until wherever you go, whether it's a physician assistant, or an LPN, or nursing, or ultrasound technician, whatever it is that you plan to do, take that with you, and always know that, yes, there are letters here, but that really doesn't matter. Because those same letters can harm a patient just as much as they can help a patient. So please make sure that when you walk into a room, that patient leaves and say, that was the best encounter, the best experience that I've ever had. And so my entire profession, I've been in critical care. So most of my patients, actually a lot of my patients, unfortunately, pass away. That's just the nature of critical care. And so I am always blessed with the opportunity that I was the last person to hold their hands when they made it to the other side. And I always say, can you please put in a good word for me when you get to the other side? Can you tell them how good of a nurse I am when you get to the other side, right? Not everyone's built for that. But that is something that I say, being the last person to see a patient before they leave is an honor. And you never know when you will be the last person to see that patient. They may never come back to your office. That may be their last day. So please keep that in your minds and say, how can I make this impact, this experience, the best experience if I never see this person ever again? Because you don't want the last memory in their brains to be ingrained that that was the worst MA I've ever had. Okay? Again, congratulations. I appreciate all of the family and friends who came out to support, and I'm gonna miss you all, but remember that I'm still here for you. Don't think that this ends here. You all are forever my students, forever my mentees. I do give you your very first promotion today from my student to now my colleague. However, remember, I still have students from years ago that email me. We still text, we still message. They're like, Professor O, I got a promotion. Can I meet with you? I need to talk about how I'm gonna do this. I got a leadership position. How am I gonna do this? And so I still meet with my prior students often. So please don't think that just because you graduated, somehow you have been disconnected. The umbilical cord has been cut, but you're still connected to me forever, okay? Congratulations, and I'm so proud of you all. I can hand the, I'll take a picture of them. You want to call their name? Yes. Good start here. I don't care their name, that's fine. All right. There you go. Do we want the students to line up so that it's easier instead of maybe have them line up? In the back. That way it's, because we're on live right now, that way you're not having to clunk around the entire time. It'll be much easier.
Which way does that come from?
It's probably easier this way. If you all just line up on this way somewhere. It's not in order, but at least you're nearby, so it's a little bit cleaner for the film. There we go. First person's gonna be who's the first person? Mackenzie McCoy. Let me get you both here's your back. Awesome. Next person is Kaylee Faison. Congratulations, Kaylee. Oh, here's your back. Sorry. We'll put that in later. Pretend that never happened. Next person is Jay Washington. Congratulations, Jay. All right. Hold. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Hold on. Sorry. It's gonna drive me nuts. There you go. Because the balloon is about to fall off. Hold on. Pull the balloon down. It's about to fly off. There you go. There we go. All right. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, Jay. All right. Next person is Brianna Grudden. who I'm also very proud of her, but she could not be here today.
Okay.
Do you want just them or me and Mary?
I'll be just that person, then we'll add you in.
Awesome.
Like, smush together. Yep, here you go. 3, smush together. There you go. Cool. Okay. You've taken a bunch, because one you can like 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. And we go ahead and do that.
I'll get in the middle. Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah, that pop.
Yeah, pop of color, pop of color. That was good.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Again, let's take a bunch. Last one. Okay, now.
Wait, we gotta give Professor O something to hold too.
Oh.
Aww. Aww.
Oh.
You guys are so sweet. Don't make me cry. Oh, thank you. This is too
Oh,
sweet.
time to put this back.
Alright. Oh, let me turn it around so I can see. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Okay, can I actually take the scooches again?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna do a fun one. Are you excited? So I'm gonna count down the period and give me like a woo, yay! Whatever you're feeling in this moment. And if you're not excited enough, it will make you do it again.
Okay.
Exciting. So be excited. Okay, everyone ready? 1, 2, 3. That was like,
I tried.
it's a 2-week program. And it's really easy. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Let me get that too. Hold on. Hold that. I think you guys can be way more excited.
Oh my God. Right.
Let me get a boomerang.
Thank you.
Like, maybe some.
All right, just.
Let me get a boomerang. Some motions.
That was a good boom.
Yeah.
Did you catch that boom?
Oh, no, I didn't.